What up, though? And welcome to the Boss Up All Out podcast, your home for organic debate about Detroit Lions news and rumors. It's your man, Kurt Steele. Today, I look at Detroit Lions news and rumors during the Lions bye week. Do me a quick favor, man. Like the video, share the video, and comment on this video. I know you're going to be in a live chat, but make sure you leave me a comment, man. If you enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 2,000 subscribers, and we are currently sitting at 1879. Man, great to have everyone here in the building today, man. So let us know what you think. But today, we're gonna do some little things, you know what I'm saying, a little differently, man. If you're new to the channel, you don't know how our show works, man. We look at Detroit Lions news, headlines, or takes. If we agree, we say they are bossed up. If we disagree, we say they are balled on. If we give our take on why we agree or disagree. For our live shows, we do a little differently. If you agree to what I'm saying, put hashtag bossed up in the comments. If you in the live chat, if you disagree, put hashtag balled on. We will put those things on the screen. Talk about it together, man. No hot takes here. Just natural debate about our favorite team, Detroit Lions, and what we think. Because that's what matters. As fans, what we think matters, man. We don't want no BS takes, man. But here are what we're going to talk about, the topics for today's show. Oh, let's go into the chat right quick. Just to say good morning to a few people. Marker, what's up? Good morning. What up, Doe? And Hookadoo, good morning, Kurt. Glad to hear you're doing better. Thank you. I appreciate that one, Pride. I appreciate it. Here's our topics for today's show. All right. We're going to look at definitely the Lions are racking up some awards. Last couple of weeks, man. You look at what's going on. Headlines from the first quarter of the season, and then what to expect going forward from the Detroit Lions. So let's kind of look at what we are looking at as far as awards, man, because they coming through. Detroit Lions racking up some awards, man. After his perfect passing day on Monday Night Football, Jared Goff was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He went 18 for 18 for 292 yards passing with 2 touchdowns and 1 receiving touchdown. I don't know what player was going to upstage that. I mean, because people had like Baker Mayfield being the Player of the Week, and then Jared Goff went and did that. I mean, one thing I would say this about his performance. JG had one of his best performances of his career on the biggest stage, Monday Night Football, against a team that he and Detroit have struggled with in the past. He played them tough when he was out there in LA, but struggles against them. And to see what he did on Monday Night Football, that's what NFC Offensive Player of the Week was well deserved. Was Monday Night Football his best performance ever? I don't think so. It was as far as percentage wise it was, but like I think his best performance on Monday Night Football was a few years ago when he was with the Rams and he outdueled Patrick Mahomes. That was a hell of a game. But outstanding performance, great deserved award for him on getting the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Now, Aiden Hutchinson, he did not get the Player of the Week in Week 2 after the 4.5 sack performance versus Tampa because it was a loss most likely. And I can't even remember. It was Jesse Bates got it that week for the Atlanta Falcons. He was the defensive player of the week that week. I had the game-sealing interception at the end of that game versus the Philadelphia Eagles. But however, he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Month. He leads the NFL, with 6.5 sacks, 40 quarterback pressures. He also has 16 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, and 1 forced fumble. Yeah, he did his thing, man. He's been having a dominant performance to start the season. Didn't even have one last game. He still leads the league in sacks. So shout out to my man Aiden Hutchinson for racking that award up, man. That's what's up, man. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Aiden Hutchinson right now. And then we got to double back to week 3, man. Jack Fox won the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week that week He punted 5 times. I had to go back and look at his stats. He had 5 punts in that game, averaged almost a little tick under 50 yards per punt, right? Of his 5 punts, only one was a touchback. The rest of them, the other 4, were downed inside the 20. That's bananas. And then you look at that second half of that game versus Arizona. The offense stalled out really most of that second half. They didn't score a point after halftime, but Jack Fox kept them guys pinned down in their own territory, and that was the reason why the Detroit Lions got that win out there in Arizona. So, man, well-deserved awards for these guys, racking up these awards for the NFC Player of the Week. I'm sorry, I had the wrong slide up. NFC Player of the Week, and then you had Aiden Hutchinson was the Defensive Player of the Month, and Jack Fox winning that NFC Special Teams Player of the Week in Week 3. I'm sorry, I had the wrong slide up. But you look at that, man. Hey, I'm loving what we're seeing out of the Detroit Lions right now, man. Let's get into the chat to see what you guys got to say this morning. Definitely Hookadoo saying, Mom Marker saying hello. Hookadoo, Wild Marker. Okay. Lions Talk Live, Coach Dan in the building. What's going on, man? Uncle Buzz, man, fellow vet, stay strong. Thank you. I appreciate you, brother. Definitely Mile Marker Boss Up, Fox, damn fine punts. Yeah, man. To have you punt 5 times and have 4 of them be down inside the 20 is ridiculous, man. Boss Up, the Hutch does need help. Can you imagine what he can do if not double teamed all the time? Yeah, but they're gonna block and chip and all those things with him just because of the fact of what he can do in the pass rush. So I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Aiden Hutchinson right now, man. But thank you guys for tuning in right here at the Boss Up Ball Out podcast. Like the video, share the video, and comment on the video, man. All these things help us with these Detroit Lions content and get it to fans just like yourself, man. And make sure you go check me out. I've been doing some things over there on Lions Nation Unite, man. So go check out some of my videos over there, man. I've kind of stepped in. I know you guys know that Mike Kimber or Micro Mike has kind of stepped back a little bit from what's going on over at LNU, sharing the wealth a little bit. And, I've been stepping in, doing some things over there. So go check me out over at Lions Nation Unite, man. Be a part of that community, man, and the movement that is Lions Nation Unite. All right, so let's look at some of the headlines from the first quarter of the Lions season, man. So, we're at that early bye in the first quarter. Poll Mark. All right. For Detroit Lions offense, this is my opinion, man. They finally had the game that they've been looking for on offense this season versus the Seattle Seahawks, man. We talked about Goff's perfect game a little bit ago under center, but it just wasn't him. You look at the offensive line, it was tough, physical. It opened up some running lanes for David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, man, combined for 118 yards rushing on 26 carries with that rushing average of 4.1 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns. And you didn't have your all-pro center. You had a guy who's a veteran offensive lineman slide over to center in Graham Glasgow, and then you brought Yodi in, Coyote Akosiko, and came in, and dude played a hell of a game. And shout out to Yodi, man. If you don't know about the story going on with him over on social media, where you had a Seahawks fan who was rooting for the Lions because she went to high school with Yodi. And Yodi stood up to a bully for her in school. And she was like, he had no reason to do that. He really didn't know me. I wasn't very popular. And he stood up for me. And to have that type of character and that type of guy on our roster is absolutely key. I love the way he plays football, but I like the person he is better. And I like the type of football player he is. Because to do that, man, it's a special person. All right, get back onto the Lions offense, man. Here's one thing that if you don't look into the numbers, you really wouldn't notice it. But the Lions went 5 for 5 in the red zone. And they scored in every quarter of that game. And my favorite part was the 14 points they scored in the third quarter, because we know that the Lions have had problems in the third quarter under Ben Johnson. So those two touchdowns, man, for Ben Johnson were big after halftime. It's, we didn't have that third quarter lull, especially coming off that Arizona game where we didn't score a single point in the second half. You got 3 touchdowns on the ground, 3 touchdowns in the air, and then no turnovers. We completely won the turnover battle 2-0. We didn't give the ball away. I believe that this was the most complete game that the Lions offense have played in a very long time on the offensive side of the ball. And my hats are off to my man Ben Johnson, man. He called a hell of a game, and Jared Goff and that offense took care of the ball, and they took care of business, scoring 6 touchdowns. Every score was a touchdown, no field goals, 6 touchdowns in a game. 42 points is a hell of a way to get your offense back on track. Let's switch back over to the defense, man. Now, they've played well. They actually carried the Lions and their front part of the first half of the first quarter of the season. We all know that about Hutchinson and what he brings to the table. And the linebackers have played solid, and their run defense has held up, except for last game where Walker kind of got loose for 80 yards, and they got 3 touchdowns. And the Seahawks ran for over 100 yards, and that's the first time we've given up 100 yards rushing in a very, very long time. They haven't been perfect on defense, but they've been improved. And you look at that secondary, and people will talk about Terrion Arnold and the last game and Carlton Davis with the penalties, but I would say they're playing a tough physical style of defense, and it's one of those things where Arnold is going to be okay, and we'll talk about him a little bit later. But the secondary is playing well. And the linebacker core, I will say this: we are missing Derek Barnes. That he's a unicorn on our defense, where what he can do, be a part of the linebacker core, playing the pass rush. So you're missing that from him, and it hurts even more because we're missing our other defensive end and Marcus Davenport, who's out for the season. Hopefully we can get Barnes back for that back stretch of this season. Now, we will play the linebacker by committee. We got some guys that can come in and step in. Of course, Rodrigo and Neiman. It's going to be a group effort to replace Derek Barnes, because none of those guys have the skill set that Derek Barnes has. But I believe that they can hold up their end of the bargain. And Davenport, did he have big numbers? No, but he helped push that pocket for opposing quarterbacks, and he helped push those guys pretty much into Hutz at times. So, question is, who's going to step up now? Because I don't want it to be like Hutch the last couple seasons where he's just the pass rush by himself. I hate to see that. And then the last thing, as far as the headlines at the end of the first quarter poll of the season, man, was what happened on Monday night at halftime. It was great to see Calvin Johnson inducted into the Pride of the Lions, man. His relationship with the team has improved vastly over the last couple of years, and he now identifies himself as a Lion again. I don't think he did that when he first retired. He was just kind of like, hey, I play for the Lions, and I credit two people. Mike Disner has a good relationship with Calvin Johnson, and he's actually the guy who announced at a charity event that he will be going to Pride of the Lions on Monday Night Football versus Seattle. I also give credit to Sheila Hamp, who got a huge hug from Calvin Johnson at that ceremony Monday night. You look at that, man. It was something going on with that leadership prior with Martha and Rod Wood that rubbed Calvin Johnson the wrong way, especially with them asking for that money back. And it's a business, but you got a guy that's a generational talent and who was the face of the league, even on losing teams. And you do that to that guy who was bringing more attention to your team, even when your team was a losing franchise, and you do that to him. I could understand why Calvin Johnson was a little ticked off that they did that. But Sheila stepped in, man. And here's my thing with what I feel about Sheila Hamp, man. She has changed the way the front office and the ownership leads this organization for the Detroit Lions, man. And she's transformed the ownership group for the Lions, being the owner herself, as being one of the best in the league. So, what do you think, guys? I like what I'm seeing out of the leadership. Those are my few headlines for the first quarter poll of the season for the Detroit Lions, man. But yeah, it's one of those things, man, where you got to change some things up. Definitely. Let's get back into the chat, man. Definitely. Dan Spanos says good morning. Good morning, man. My man Dan. Boss up. That was a team win, Kirk. Yes, definitely. Marker said nice story. Didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Good morning, Marker to Dan. Good morning, bud. All right, Lady Lion. Good morning, the Boss Up Ball Out crew. Good morning there, Lady Lion. Appreciate you, man. Lady Lion, good morning. Back at you. All right, Mom Marker says, please like, share a copy. You don't have to send it, but it still counts good for the channel. Yes, appreciate you, man. Like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. Not just in the chat, but make sure you comment on the actual video itself, man. It helps with this YouTube algorithm and get this Detroit Lions content to other Lions fans like yourself, man. Lady Lion, Dan Spanos, top of the morning. I thought it was obvious that Sheila adores Calvin. Yeah, Bob Mocker, you know what, though? I really think she does, man. She has a great fondness for Calvin Johnson, man. And you look at that, man, and what happened with her mother and what whoever's advice she got that from, and I believe that's one of the things with Rod Wood that she was just so ticked off about, was that Rod Wood kind of made that decision about Calvin Johnson. That's what their relationship has been strained. But yeah, I love what Sheila has done with that. Sheila has doubled the value of our franchise since she took over. Yeah, you look at what she does, man. The leadership structure of the team now is so different, and the way that they do things is so much different than what it was before. So I'm liking what's going on with the Lions leadership and the ownership right now. Boss Up Ball Out, I have my money on Wingo going to shine. You know what? I was talking about that earlier on the Lions Talk Live, man. I like Wingo, man. He's one of those guys that he could definitely step in, man. He's young, he's talented, and he's able to push the pocket, and he can use his size, because he's shorter, as his advantage to get underneath some of the taller offensive linemen. So yeah, I agree with the wholeheartedly on the Trey Wingo thing, man. Hey, like I said, man, do me a favor, man. Like the video and share with other Lions fans like yourself, man. And like I said, man, go check me out on Red Lions Nation Unite, man. I do some great things over there, man. I also produce another podcast I talked about a little earlier. I produce a show called Chasing Your Dreams Podcast. So you want to support your boy Kurt Steele, man, go check out the Chasing Your Dreams Podcast, man. Some great content over there as well, man. Has to do with making your dreams come true. And of course, it has to do with some mental health issues. So go check it out, man. If you just need some guidance on life and what you're doing, just go check out the Chasing Your Dream podcast, man. Eric Hall is a licensed clinical social worker, man. Great dude, man. And he does a great, outstanding job with the content over on his channel. So, all right. So the last thing I want to talk about on today's show is we want to look at what to expect going forward, because you know, the season's not over. It's just only the bye week, man. We got that early bye, but what should we look at from our Lions? What we should expect from our Detroit Lions on the next part of the season, man? And here's some things that I think the Lions will be doing. You let me know what you think in the chat. So what do you think and what to expect? I think the Lions will continue to use that best run-to punch at running back in the NFL. It's no secret the Lions are going to run the ball, and it's up to opposing defenses to stop it. I don't see that happening if the offensive line continues to play healthy. Play at a high level, and the O-line and the backs can stay healthy. I don't see a team where they really can get stopped on the run. Their blocking scheme, the way that these guys block for the run and in the pass right now, they are definitely where they can establish the run, and then that sets up for Jared Goff to be accurate, and he's deadly in play action. So run the ball, get that run established, and then play action will follow. I just think that is going to be a recipe for success for the Detroit Lions going forward. All right, so the secondary, I said it earlier, the more the secondary plays together, the better they will be. Now, they definitely miss Brian Branch on Monday Night Football. He and Kirby Joseph, if you look how they played out in Arizona, Man, those guys could be one of the best tandems at safety in the NFC, if not the league. Now, Terrion Arnold, we all were worried about Arnold and his penalties, defensive pass interference, and holding. He's a gamer, man. The kid, he's a kid, and everyone's not going to be Sauce Gardner. Everyone's not going to be Deion Sanders. Everyone's not going to come in the league in their first year and tear it up at corner. But the guy is a worker, and he's going to work on those things. Aaron Glenn's going to get him right. Deshae Townsend, the defensive backs coach, is going to get that guy right. And hopefully he will be better keeping his hands to himself down the stretch. Amik Robinson has played great. Carlton Davis has played well. He got a couple ticky-tack calls in the last game, but I think that the secondary itself has played well. Can they play better? Yes. I just think that they need to stay away from the zone coverage until they can figure it out. And man, those guys can play pretty well, and that's what AG wants to play anyway. So I'm liking what I'm seeing so far as the way that the secondary is developing so far in this first part of the season. Now, here's my question, and my question is to you, and I'll look at it. The question: will Brad Holmes make a move to get Hutchinson some help at defensive end? Now, we all know the two big names that are out there, right? So if the Raiders continue to struggle, and with the Bengals as well, will they be sellers before the trade deadline? Now, I will tell you this. We all know that Max Crosby is going to cost you a grip, man, that he's going to beat your pockets up. But Trey Hendrickson has a deal that's in place that's not bad. Now, the Trey has the cap space to pull the trigger on one or both of those guys, but will they make the move to put themselves in a position to be the favorite to get their first Super Bowl appearance? I hope so. Because sometimes you have to do something a little outside the box. Okay, there I am. He's one of those guys that sorry, I'm gonna have some connectivity issues right quick. We already know what type of GM that he is, but one of those things where I will say this: sometimes you gotta step outside the box to get what you need. So I think that it may be time to kind of pull the Band-Aid off and get us some help at defensive end. But with Marcus Davenport going down, and it's one of those things where I definitely think that it will be a time to make a move, and I think that Hendrickson is the way to go. All right, so let's get back to the chat to see what you guys think, man. We're getting closer there. Can you say the name again of the Dreams Podcast? Chasing Your Dreams Podcast. That is the name of the show. Chasing Your Dreams Podcast. The logo is a purple and gold headset, and it says featuring Eric Hall. So yeah. All right, Kurt, can you imagine what veterans went through World War II, Korean War, Vietnam, that didn't have people like you that really care boss up, man? You know what though, man? My grandfather fought in World War II. I had a cousin that fought in Vietnam, and I live in a military community because I live right outside Fort Liberty down here in North Carolina, and I always thank those veterans because they didn't get, especially the guys from Vietnam, they didn't get the welcome home that they needed. But I care about my fellow veterans, man, and get the help that you need, man. And that's why I always usually support Salute to Service because those gear, and the tight ones this year, because the sales, the NFL doesn't get any profits from those sales from the Salute to Service gear. It all goes to veteran organizations like Wounded Warrior, USO, or Counseling Services, Veteran Affairs. So check it out, man. Get yourself some Salute to Service gear. But yeah, definitely, I appreciate that. All right, Arnold's going to turn things around. Nothing to worry about. I believe so, man. I think Arnold's going to be fine, man. The problem is Lady Lion says, is that the refs are going to target him because he's a rookie now. And yeah, he has those issues. They're going to be looking for that. And I ain't gonna lie to you. If I was a coach from another team, I would be say I tell the refs to watch out for. Hey man, he's going to be holding on this play. So you kind of look out for that. So, but he'll get it fixed, man. All right, American Legion has a campaign. Be the one to reach out and help. Hey, yeah, we have a lot of those American Legion, VFW. A lot of those organizations are definitely help. Exactly. Arnold just needs some time on learning curve going up. Yeah, I definitely, man. He's going to be good. I think he's going to be one of our best corners. Someone in last time about Ennis Rakestraw. Rakestraw is going to be good too, man. He just got to get some time on the field. Right now, he's behind some other guys. But Arnold is going to be a stud. I believe that 100%, man. The trade deadline is election day. That's gonna be a wild day. Yeah, you gotta get out there and vote, and then you're gonna be watching the waiver wire for what's going on, watching the transaction wire, what's going on with the trade deadline. That's gonna be something. To watch that day. I'm going to vote early. So hey, I don't care, as far as my civic duty, I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to get out there and vote, man. I don't care who you vote for, man. Just go and do your civic duty and go out and vote, man. So, go ahead, exercise your right, man. You want to be heard, do it at the ballot box. I definitely say that, man. Thanks, Sub. Appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it. My extended family is full of men and women soldiers. PTSD is well understood in my family. Hey, Mom Marker. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I think for me, I think I was suppressing it because I was trying to compare what I was going through to other people that I knew that had PTSD, and it's not a one size fit all thing, man. Everybody deals with things differently, and what was happening. I was trying to compare what was happening to me and to other people, and it wasn't fitting, so I was suppressing it. So, but I'm getting help now, man, and I have a great support system to help get help with my PTSD. Thank you. The Archie camouflage hoodie yesterday. Oh, okay, cool. Hookadoo, man. Yeah, man. Those things are nice, man. I'm thinking about getting one of the hats and getting one of the t-shirts, man, and rock that thing. But yeah, man. Hey, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video, man. All these things help us get this content to more Detroit Lions fans just like yourself, man. All right, real quick in the comments, man, give me your thoughts on the Lions at the quarter pole. So hashtag bossed up if you think they're doing good, hashtag balled on if you think they're doing bad. So let me know in the comments right quick, the last couple of minutes of the show, what do you think about the Lions at the quarter pole of the season right now? I'm thinking they're on the right track. I think that they're doing good. I think that they're set up to be have a good season going forward. Same thing this morning, but they're in stock now. Okay, all right. So, won't get into. Okay, yeah. So Lions in great position. Yeah, single day club. I think they are too. I think they're hitting their stride at the right time, and they're gonna have some good games coming up. Look at this second part of this next quarter of the season. You got Vikings, you got Cowboys, you got Packers, and I think all those are winnable games. All right, Lions should be you should be getting it soon. Yeah. Yeah, Fanatics, man, they do a great job with that, getting that gear, salute service gear, man, out, man. That Arctic, man, I was surprised with that one this year. I was like, wow, that Arctic is great, man. And I've served with some guys that served in the Arctic units, man, especially with Tim Mountain, and that Arctic uniform is definitely hot, man. Hey, all right, now it's getting close to get them out of here, man. Thank you guys for checking us out right here at the Boss Up Ball Out Podcast, your home for organic debate about Detroit Lions news and rumors, man. Do me a quick favor, man. Follow all the hosts of the show on your favorite social media platform. Go check out Wolver Lion Sports Talk over on YouTube, man. He does a great job with his shorts over there on that channel, man. He's a Coach Jones he's the defensive line coach for the Jackson Northwest Mounties in Jackson, Michigan, man. Does a great job with his content over there. LL Cool Tones, my man, he does his thing. Go check him out on both of his platforms, man. And he does a great job over on Instagram, man. And his is always thirsty on a Thursday for his Instagram. And then, of course, man, you can follow me on your favorite social media platforms. You see all my handles right there. And I post content from this show on all those platforms as well. That you guys are hanging out today for the Boss Up Ball Out podcast. Your home for a mad debate about Detroit Lions news and rumors, man. Hey, it's the bye week, man. Enjoy the football this weekend. Definitely, we have some what do you call that? Some good football coming up this weekend. Let me get myself back on camera. So have breakfast, eat some football. Eat some breakfast, watch some football this week because you got the Jets and you got the Vikings playing this early morning. So check it out, man. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. Back with my man LL Couture and Coach Mike Jones. Do your man Kurt Steele a favor. Whatever you're doing, like you guys step boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. Thank you for watching. This is Kurt Steele, and we will holla at you real soon.